One story that keeps getting sent to us here in the last 48 hours, and I'll ask you because you're on his show virtually weekly at this point, is Tucker Carlson.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how reliable the news site motherjonesis.com.
Do you know what Salon is?
Yes, I do.
It's like 1,000 meters left of that. Yeah, Mother Jones is fucking bullshit.
So we keep getting sent this and then being tagged on Twitter and Instagram and all this stuff. So we'll address it and I'll ask you about it. Allegedly, there was a leaked memo from Russian media saying it is essential to feature Tucker Carlson. The exact quote is, "It is essential to use as much as possible fragments of broadcast of the popular Fox News host Tucker Carlson, who sharply criticizes the actions of the United States and NATO, their negative role in unleashing the conflict in Ukraine, and defiantly provocative behavior from the leadership of Western countries and NATO towards the Russian Federation and towards Putin."
So what are you supposed to do? Not report the reality of the situation because it might agree with the Russian talking point? Like, what if? I mean, it's not okay that they're fucking invading a country, and it's definitely not okay that they're firing on civilian positions. But that doesn't mean that all the other stuff he's saying isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't tell the truth because it might look bad. That is not an acceptable answer to me. And these people are fucking cowards. Like, they're afraid of what it might look like to say what's real. You know what I mean? Because you might be lumped in with somebody else. If I recall, before the 2012 election, Osama bin Laden was reported to say that he wanted Obama to get reelected. Yeah. So what? He's a terror? No, man. To be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and that's the issue I have, too, with people coming after Trump's comments. Like, it is a smart move from Putin. If you want to steamroll these countries and you have the capability to do it, fuck. Again, we have weak leadership in office right now. Nobody's going to stop him from here. So
well, now we're getting bombed by Iran as well, right?
So is that real? So I saw the Terrorist Whisperer post something, and he had tagged the empty missiles that when he was on the show he had posted. Is any of that real?
Yes,
it is.
One of our facilities in Erbil, Iraq, got hit.
Okay,
yeah.
and what's the significance of that?
The significance is it's Iran seeing how we'll respond. So when they tried to fuck around with Trump, he killed Soleimani. Mm-hmm. And then they fired a couple of rockets, and we were like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Now they're firing what's effectively a salvo across our bow, which is a warning shot, for lack of a better phrase, and just to see what we'll do. And Biden's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then they're going to fucking do something else. I mean, my guess is Iran doesn't want to go, they don't want to go heads up war with anybody. But what they will do is start funding operations in Syria again and start fucking funding Hezbollah again. That'll be their move if they know that nobody's going to fucking do anything about it. And we'll start seeing more transnational terrorism at the lower level like we saw in the early 2000s.
And the latest thing here, this is just a moment ago here, is the Russian embassy has retweeted Candace Owens accusing American government of appalling treatment of Russians. I'll read this tweet to you and get your thoughts on it. She said, "It's absolutely appalling the way Russians are being treated in America and abroad, that our leaders and government institutions are allowing for and at times calling for this discrimination following their global Black Lives Matter hysteria is quite telling. Russian lives matter." If you're not in the country of Russia and you don't support the war, what's the big fucking deal, I guess?
I mean, so Facebook issued a statement saying that they were going to allow, Facebook and Instagram were going to allow basically people to say that they hope Russian people die. Mm-hmm. Because whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's been made, the point's been made by I don't really care for Candace Owens, to be honest. I think she's just kind of she was a liberal like 3 or 4 years ago and changed because for money. That's it. Like, she's just a fucking actor, in my opinion. But it is true that a people are not their government. And there was a story that we talked about last week. Our sanctions actually hurting us. You know what I mean? If the hope is that the Russian people start holding their elected officials accountable, which they're not really elected, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To empower the Russian people. I'm not entirely sure that seizing their assets and putting them out of work and making them even more dependent on their government is the right solution to that. Like, there's a way to sanction without it, coming down to the point where regular people are being the most affected by it. Because the government of Russia can just go to China and get money. Like, maybe, if they're willing to do that. The people in Russia that are trying to buy food and shit can't. Just say, hey, China, they turned off my fucking stuff, bro. You know what I mean?
But is all of that in hopes of the Russian people getting together to potentially try to overthrow their government or protest or stop the war?
That's stupid. That is a very myopic view of how the Russian system of government works. How much authority do you think even the collective will of the population over there has versus oligarchs? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to sanction all the oligarchs and they're doing that to some degree, that's probably a smart move. That's probably a smart move.
Yeah, they're having problems hiding their yachts.
Yeah,
over there.
but laying down sanctions at the level where everyday Russian people, who, by the way, aren't too thrilled about what's happening here, are getting fucking hammered by it, I'm not sure that's a great idea.